And with us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. And we have two special guest speakers that we're delighted to have join us this afternoon. The first one is the actual lead program creator, Stephen, who started the program a few years ago and who's been in our business now for, I believe, about 30 years. So he can definitely teach us a few things, especially about the mortgage lead program. The second guest speaker is Kent, who is a very successful agent of ours out of Texas. And he is joining us today simply out of the goodness and kindness of his heart because, A, he wants to help Levinson and Associates, and B, he wants to kind of show our agents or share some tips and hints so our agents kind of get their hands around the program and just kind of understand the way the program works from an agent's perspective who's out there in the field using this every day. So I think that his insight is going to be real helpful for us and our agents. So we're delighted to have both of you guys join us today. So that's the most important thing. Thank you for that. The second thing is, A, we want to thank our agents, as importantly, for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us on today's call. And if we try to host these webinars once a month, but specifically for the lead program. And if you've been on these before, we're going to show you a few new things. We're going to give you some new advice. We also have some new tools and technology that's available through Levinson that we're going to go over as well. So lots of new stuff to go over today. Take out a pen and paper and jot down any questions that you might have, and then we can get those answered after the call, or you can also type in the questions in that question box in the bottom right corner, and we can get to those as we're speaking. So whichever way you're more comfortable with is fine. We're very excited about this call. We also have some great new statistics that just rolled in that I think will really baffle you and show you some new great opportunities in this whole sales pipeline, if you will. Okay, so Joe is going to talk about our annual Agent Expo, which is only 4 weeks away, and everybody on the call should be in attendance for our free Agent Expo. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Our annual expo is actually being held on the 24th of April. It's actually down here in sunny South Florida. As you can see from the pictures, we actually host the expo at a beautiful beachfront resort. And the expo is all about sales ideas, concepts, really elevating your practice, taking it to the next level. It's a day full of sales ideas, concepts, and we're even going to be showcasing some new products, some new technology platforms that you'll actually be able to have access to as a Levinson agent at absolutely no cost. So definitely a day you do not want to miss. If you're not registered, go right to kerrylevinson.com and register, or you can even call or email the office and we'll get you registered today. Also, for those agents that qualify, we built in a qualification tier. Of course, the expo is free for all agents to attend, but for those agents that are from out of state or even across the country, if you did $15,000 in paid premium, we paid for a free night at the beachfront resort. And then level 2 and level 3, $40,000, $50,000 of paid premium covers not only that, the round trip airfare, but also 1 or 2 nights at the beachfront resort. So definitely a day you do not want to miss. We're starting at 9 a.m. We'll end about 5:30. We have cash prizes, giveaways throughout the day. We're even giving away tablets as well. So definitely something you do not want to miss. Also, I want to mention real quickly some upcoming webinars just to focus your attention. On 2 p.m. Eastern on Monday, which is the 30th, we're going over our e-policy delivery platform, which literally allows you to deliver your policies the same day that they get approved. So you can save about, on average, 19 days for the whole policy cycle time, which is going to save you a lot of time, especially with these mortgage leads. If you're talking to someone over the phone, maybe they're in another area, or maybe you're not going to have to drive to their house to deliver the policy. Even if you're just mailing them the policy to deliver it, by using that e-policy delivery platform, you basically get to save the postage, you save the snail mail process, and you get paid much faster. So definitely tune in. It's going to run about 30 minutes. On Thursday, which is the 2nd, at 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going over Disability Income Training 101. That's especially important when we talk to these mortgage leads. They may want to actually go over a disability income product to help cover the mortgage payment if they become sick or ill. So we're going over the basics, how to quote the product, who it's right for, and really how to actually present that disability income product to all these prospects. And then on the 10th of April, which is a Friday at 2 p.m., we're going over a unique sales strategy, which is actually Social Security maximization. We're talking about using life insurance as a vehicle to actually help keep that estate intact, and specifically focusing on maximizing Social Security income. You can register for any one of these webinars at kerrylevinson.com. You can also check out our YouTube channel, which has about 90 different videos on things from new product rollouts to simple training on e-applications. So definitely take a look. All those resources are available on that YouTube channel 24/7.
Okay, what's new at Levinson and Associates? We want to talk about just a couple of things here quickly, and I think another important part of this is we understand that it's not as simple as giving a contract to an agent and saying, hey, here are the best companies, here are the best commissions, and we offer the best service, okay? That sounds great, and of course we need those three things, but if we don't have anyone to talk to or anyone to share our stories with, okay, we're not going to make any sales. So I don't care if you have a 250% contract. If you're not making any sales, that is completely worthless. So we understand if we don't bring these programs and these tools to our agents, then we're really missing the boat and falling behind as far as being a very well-serviced and put-together IMO or marketing organization. So we're constantly sitting back here literally every day trying to find out what's new, what's hot, what's working out there, and then if there is a new system that works that's going to help our agents, we'll be the first ones to bring that program or those tools to our field force. So just a few things that we just launched, our new Press Play Annuity Training. Now, this is a podcast where, if you don't know what a podcast is, basically we have a small video clip that you literally click the play button and you sit back and you can pick different topics on annuity sales and training. How to transition into an annuity sale, or how to take a term agent and turn them into a annuity and long-term care agent. So this is a new series that we just started. We launched our first one last week. So if you want to go to our homepage on kerrylevinson.com, you can find the new Press Play Annuity Training podcast. We're going to come out with these every single month. On the middle section there, new designation training. Now, this is awesome, okay? This is basically going to allow you to add designations to your business card. Now, this is a certified program, and basically what it is, for less than $300, and the normal price is $2,000, but because we have put together a co-op program, we allow you to participate for, it comes out to like $290 for the complete 10-hour program, which now allows you to go out and attract a completely different type of audience to join you on a webinar or a seminar in person to talk about financial education. So it's just another feather in your cap to gain attendance and audience, once again, to listen to your story. The bottom section there, lightning issue term product updates. Now, as you know, this is the first and only term product that is available with no agent involvement. So your client can just click a link, run a quote, sign up online, the policy gets delivered directly to your client within 72 hours. This is all done with instant approval, okay? So no wait times, no agent involvement. You get paid, double-digit renewals, you get in, get out, move on to the next client. And the new highlight there is it's now issuable to age 65 or nearer 64, okay? So great stuff there with Lightning Term. We're constantly making this bigger and better. The bottom bullet there is agent website updates. As you know, we give all of our agents free retail websites, okay, that you can put on your business cards, email blast out. You can go to insprofessional.com, and that's where you can go register, and you can make all kinds of changes and look at the quote engines and calculators, all that are available, and it's very easy to set up. Okay, we've completely revamped the system to make your website look more professional. We added a new final expense quote engines. We have new templates, okay, or backgrounds that you can choose from that are now mobile accessible. So what that means is you can send out an email blast and your prospects or clients can now literally go on your website from their iPhone or their smartphone. They can run quotes. They can look at all of the latest insurance articles, all from their smartphones, tablets, or desktop computers. So that's big stuff there. And once again, there's no charge to you for any of these great new features. We're going to officially roll this out live at our expo. So if you can't make the expo for whatever reason, we're going to have a webinar just on this within about a week after the expo. So everybody will be in the loop as far as that goes. Okay, so moving on to our exclusive mortgage lead program. I'm just going to talk about a few bullets here, and then we're going to get into our lead reimbursement program. Then we'll dive into the presentation. So the exclusive mortgage lead program is only available through Levinson and Associates, okay? Very important there. And we actually pay part of the fees, okay, so that you can participate and not have to go into your pocket and spend $20, $30 a lead. So the only thing that we ask from our agents is to please make sure any business that gets generated from these leads goes back through Levinson and Associates. Even if you have a contract through another competitor, that's okay. But if it's a sale that was from one of these leads, we ask you to take out, either a second number and get appointed with us, and of course we will typically beat your existing commission. But out of the goodness of your heart, make sure all business goes back through Levinson. As you can see, these great rates, $18 a piece. We give 2 free leads with every order of 12, 3 free leads with every order of 15, and 4 free leads with every order of 20. This is different than any other lead program. We don't take your credit card and keep charging every week until you say stop. Basically, you pay as you go. Okay, we don't make any money on the program, and like I said, it actually costs us money to have our agents participate. So very important stuff there. Make sure everything comes back through us. Orders are placed every Monday. You are guaranteed your leads by Tuesday before the end of the business close. So that's about 7 o'clock on Tuesday, okay? These are a few statistics that just came in fresh off the press, and I thought these were mind-boggling. And I think that if we all take a look at this, it's a great chance for us to really dive in and see where our weakness is and see where we can really excel over the competition. Number one, I'm not going to go over each bullet, but number one, 48% of agents never follow up with a prospect. That is mind-boggling to me because these are leads that you paid for or you generated. How can you not follow up with a second call or an email blast or both? Okay, that's crazy to me. 25% will make a second contact and then stop. Okay, 12% will make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of agents make more than 3 contacts. That is crazy to me. And this is all backed by the National Sales Executive Association. So we didn't make up these facts here. Just a couple more I'm going to talk about. If you scroll down there till the middle section, 5% of sales are made on the 3rd contact, 10% of sales are made on the 4th contact, 80% of sales are made on number 5 to the 12th contact. What does that tell you? Stay in it. Don't get frustrated if somebody says no, just like Kent always tells you. Stay in it. Stay persistent. Okay, very important stuff here. Now, we're going to email all of this great stuff out after the call, but I just wanted to touch on that briefly. Joe's going to talk about our lead reimbursement program. So literally, the leads will cost you nothing if you make sales, and then we'll dive into the program. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So what we did was we actually created the reimbursement program. The way it works is if you look at this screenshot here, you're ordering your leads. When you write and place a policy that was basically a lead that was sent to you, we will reimburse you for the lead cost for each placed policy. So very simple. When you send in that application, there's actually a little reimbursement form that you send up to the office along with that application. And then what we do is we mark that internally in our system. As soon as that policy goes paid and passes that free look period, you receive a check from our office for that cost of the lead. We have several agents that are doing this on a weekly basis. Just another great thing to use with the lead program. And like Bill mentioned, if you make those sales, you'll start getting all these leads paid for. And it's really a great way to kind of set up a turnkey system that'll keep purchasing new leads for you as you move forward with this co-op program.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So our first guest speaker is Stephen, who created the program for us. He also is personal friends with Carrie, my father. They go back 20-plus years, and he's had a very successful general agency over the years. And he's probably going to kill me for saying this, but he's starting to slow down a little bit, and he built this program literally to help himself, and now made it available to all Levinson agents. So we're very proud of the program. We stand behind it. And once again, it's not for everybody, but the agents that are putting the effort in, the program is working 100%. So great stuff. Steve, are you there?
I am. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
And
Yep.
I'd like to thank Joe also for the time to talk on this webinar. I especially want to thank Kent for taking his time away from his own busy schedule and to share his experience about this LEAD program. And of course, I want to thank all you folks out there this afternoon who are listening in. I think this will be of great value for any of you who haven't heard it or reinforce what you've heard before. And I'm sort of repeating what Bill and Joe just said a moment ago. I know, and I've seen it over the years, how they put together some terrific training, some great products. They've had pilot programs. They can help you set up your own website. They just spoke a moment ago about how to obtain professional designation and all of this stuff to help their agents stay ahead of the competition. They have also made available this LEAD program to help agents provide them with an endless supply of prospects. The thing I can say is that, let's face it, you folks can have all these tools that they spoke about, and Bill just said that a moment ago. But you got to ask yourself, what good are they to you? How are you going to make money with them? Without prospects to talk to about them, where are you going to make your money? Everything starts with prospects in this business. It's no secret. That's what this LEAD program does for you. It gives you people to talk to, people who already have shown interest. They've sent back the request for an agent to call them. This is by no means cold calling. You're calling people who are interested in hearing what you've got to say. We all probably have seen some ads online, I know I have, about cheap leads. And they're probably internet leads. Do they work? Well, the law of average will tell you that if you call enough people, 20 people, 30 people, maybe 50 people, you probably will make something of it. Well, my answer to that is why not work with something of value? Don't be cheap with your business. I can tell you that every lead that we distribute, every lead that we put out to an agent has been looked over carefully. We've scrubbed it for quality. As someone who has and still does use this LEAD program, I refuse to send out to any agent any lead that I myself wouldn't feel was of value. We probably burn anywhere from 20 to 40% of the leads that we get each week that have been ordered. And the reason is that they just don't cut it. Based on ages, based on the information included on the leads, the amounts of the mortgage sometimes, whatever it is. The sincere promise that we make to every agent is that we're going to provide you with whatever amounts of leads you ordered that week with the very best we can bring to you. That's the best we can provide you with, the best promise we can do. I want to take just a moment and have each of you sort of visualize what you need to do to prepare once you get these leads, before you get on the phone with these prospects, you're going to have a lead in your hand, and you're going to see the information. You'll see their ages. You'll see the mortgage amount. Okay, that should mentally prepare you to which area you're going to. And by that I mean, is this based on age and amounts of mortgage something that'll be fully underwritten, or is it more maybe of a simplified issue? Okay, certainly we have all the carriers through Levinson that we need in any direction that you want to take these leads. But you need to prepare yourself before you just jump on the phone and call any particular lead. Before you get on the phone, get your quote system together. Open it up. It may be WinFlex. It may be individual companies, illustrations that you open up. It may be the Levinson quote engine, the search engine that they have for quotes. But whatever it is, get yourself ready. Get yourself ready to quote, because that's what this business is about. Okay. As far as what to say on these leads, well, we have full scripts that are on the website, the Levinson website. Use them. Work with them. Feel comfortable with them. They do work. They honestly do work. Okay. Once you're on the phone with these prospects, the most important thing is to listen, to ask the questions, and to listen to responses. If you ask the right questions, if you ask the probing questions, you will open up so many different possibilities to any particular prospect. I mean, for instance, you can ask them, if only one name appears on the lead, is there a significant other that also they would also like to get coverage for? That's an obvious one. You can ask what type of work they do. Find out maybe if they're self-employed, or if they work for a large company or a small company. If they have dependent children, what their ages are. Ask them, absolutely, who handles their life insurance coverage? Do they have any life insurance coverage in force at this time? These are all things that will unlock information for you, but you need to ask these types of questions, okay? Most importantly, I found, is to present yourself as the exceptional insurance agent. Someone who's able and willing to quote right then and there on the phone. That's what people are looking for. They don't want to run around, you know, other agents are going to call these people. More times than not, they'll get more than a few calls. And these agents want to run out right away and see these people. Be prepared to quote them. That puts you on a positive, good light with these people. You know, they'll be told by agents, well, I need to come out to see you so I can give you this information. It'll only take a few minutes, which is laughable because you hear the stories from people, and the good thing about this process is you never have to go out to see people. This is 90%, if not more, work that you'll do right on your telephone. Okay, and these people are not going to be trapped at their dining room table by a strange insurance agent for 2 hours that they can't get out of their house. These 2 points, quoting them and working with paperless applications that they don't have to have a parade of agents come in and see them, is going to put you in a separate category than all these other agents that are calling them. You know, you need to qualify these prospects. You need to know, obviously, if you have a legitimate prospect to work with. And you know, once you've quoted, be prepared to close them. In other words, you know, if they respond, you've given them some quotes, you ask them some simple question. Ask them a question of, how does that sound? Are you comfortable with it? They'll let you know. And if you see that there's objections, like anything in our business, respond to it. Okay? What I've said to people over the years is, if it's a husband and wife, do you both need coverage? Equally important, or is it more important for one than the other? If you know, you have to separate that. More times than not, it's always a financial decision, and you have to acknowledge that to people, and you have to show them that you're genuinely on their side, okay? You're not trying to hurt them. You're there to help them, okay? So it's important. And sometimes you may even suggest to a prospect, why don't we just drop the amount? Drop it down a bit. You know, it still gives your survivor an ample amount of coverage on you that it gives them time to make a decision if something happens to you. This all shows in a nutshell that you care, that you're trying to solve this situation with them, you know. As Bill mentioned a moment ago with those sales statistics, that you will close on a first call, but more probably you won't. And if you don't, the follow-up in this program is so vital, and I think Kent will get more into this with his experience. But if you stick with it, if you have what you feel is a legitimate prospect and someone that you feel that if you can continue keeping track of, calling back, you've sent them email quotes so they've got your name in front of them, they're familiar with who you are, sooner or later, if someone's going to close them, you're going to close them. And it's just like Bill said a moment ago. You know, it's a matter of persevering and sticking with it, because that's what this business is. But if you think about the time element, if you're not going out, if it's not necessary for you to get dressed, drive away into traffic to see a prospect, spend that amount of time with this prospect in his home or business, have to drive back and so forth, you've saved a great deal of time to start with. So if all of this work is centered around sitting in your office or your home on a telephone, you're always ahead of the game as far as time management. So it's a wonderful thing. And most importantly, and I think Kent will touch on this in his experience, is you have to know when to cut the line, to cut the fishing line with any particular prospect. There's just going to be times that you realize that either people just can't possibly make a decision, it's not within their DNA to do that, or they really haven't come up with a clear objection. Again, probably financial, and you're just finding yourself spinning your wheels. You have plenty of leads. You have plenty of other people to move on to. Your time has value to it. Move on. And that's the nice thing about a lead program. You will have an endless supply of people to call. Okay? Joe, if I can ask upon you to put up a sample lead. This is a lead very much like what any of you would see that you'd be getting Tuesday evening after you ordered on Monday. And it shows you a profile of where the lead, what county of that state the lead comes from, and the mortgage amount on the top right, and of course the a person who took out the mortgage, their name and address. Below that, there's two columns for both borrower and co-borrower. And it's very important, again, not to assume that if there's only one profile, a borrower and perhaps no co-borrower on there, that it's a single male or female. Many, many times that's not the case. There's a variety of reasons which I don't want to get into right now. But obviously, the obvious question is, as you're going through this and verifying the information, is to ask the prospect, is there a significant other? Don't assume they're married. Could be a girlfriend, could be a father, whomever. But a significant other that also you'd like to get some quotes for as far as getting coverage for. And so you've got the names, you've got date of birth, you've got obviously sex, and if they're smoker, non-smoker, their heights, their weights. So you have a full profile of looking at this. And a lead like this, at first glance, you're going to say, well, this is pretty much a fully underwritten case that you'd go to Banner or Genworth or Transamerica, AIG, you know, whomever, you know, that they're going to need exams for. And, of course, the contact numbers. Each and every lead you receive will have at least one good contact number. Many leads have two, sometimes even three, because some people are so diligent they'll even give you their work number. But that should be a third opportunity. The first two should be the cell or home number first, you know. So that's what the first sample lead looks like. The second one which is exactly the same thing, but it's based more on a smaller mortgage, a younger age. That would be maybe more of a surety case, Illinois Mutual case, a case which wouldn't require an exam. Okay, still you can create some good premium with it, but that's why I say take that moment, look at each lead, and say, okay, this is probably a direction I'll go with, and so forth, just as a mental opportunity for yourself. Okay, so. But the most important thing is when you have these prospects on the telephone and you're speaking to them and you're speaking about their mortgage and you're verifying anything and you're asking them questions, okay, you will find if you ask those right questions, you're going to end up with larger amounts of insurance for bigger needs than just perhaps covering the mortgage amount. You'll find, for instance, what Bill said a moment ago, perhaps disability income needs. You'll come up with needs for retirement or perhaps for college savings for their children. Annuity needs. These are all things, and Kent can speak to this also because he's terrific at developing, and a lot of the agents that have gotten into this have been able to develop some extraordinary cases from just what we're looking at in these sample leads. So, you know, the possibilities are endless. The only limitation to these are yourself. You've got the phone. You've got the control. Be the professionals. Use these leads to the best of your ability. Okay. The last thing I want to touch on really is just trusting in yourselves, trusting in your ability, okay, and in your skills. That's the only thing we have. We don't have inventory in our business. What we have is our abilities, our skills, you know. And fortunately, with the Levinson Group, they've given us all the tools that we need, you know. So it's really a matter of taking the time, because that's what is going to get you the results. You know, when you think about what this is actually costing you for this lead program, and I'll break it down further, because like Bill said, each order is going to get anywhere from 2 to 4 additional leads depending on what the order is for. And that comes to about $15 for each lead. So you ask yourself, how much or how little do I have to earn on any lead run any week to at least cover that? And you know, you got to laugh at that because it's virtually pennies. I think a more important question is, what would you like to average on a weekly basis of a run that you order for yourself? You know, I've always had that. I've always had a number in my mind saying this is a successful week based on X amount of premium dollars. It may be $1,000. It may be $2,500 for each run, whatever that is, okay? The only limitation is that you can put up about this is on your own selves. Nothing else is stopping you from getting to that point. And again, I think Kent is very good at addressing this kind of thing. You know, the simple matter is, in order to make money in this business, you need people to talk to. You need prospects. I've used these leads myself. I've made a lot of money over the years with these leads. And the agents that are consistently ordering leads through this program today are also making a lot of money, consistently. You know, even if you just want to supplement what you're already doing, but up your game, increase your production, then try this. It'll work. It'll absolutely work. I thank you all for the time to allow me to speak today. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Joe.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Great job. We appreciate it once again. Okay, so next up is Kent, and like I said earlier, he has a full-time job. This is what he does every day, so he's taking an hour out of his day to help all of us and just give kind of his tips and suggestions on the program. And one thing about Kent, and I think everybody will agree, is he tells it like it is, from the heart. So we all love that. We appreciate the real story. With that said, we're going to introduce Kent from Texas. Kent, you there?
Yeah, I am. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate, Steve, your words of wisdom. I'll start out by commenting about wisdom, because basically wisdom is about learning from other people's mistakes, and that's kind of what we all should be doing, is not only learning from our own, but others have created this superhighway by cutting down all the trees, and so we can move forward and get there faster. So that's what this program does. I will say that to add to Bill's slide in the earlier that Joe was going through, that the number one challenge in the world of life insurance is where do I get my leads? That is the number one question that all of us ask that are out there trying to beat the bushes and try to pull new leads and prospects. So I'm going to talk fast, going to talk about a lot of things, believe it or not, from Texas. I will try to talk as fast as I can, and if you guys want to take notes, please do. I kind of want to talk, just label this the Get Real segment, because I kind of say things that are outside of the box of Terry Levinson. I speak on behalf of what my experiences are, so I'm just getting real. So the first question is, do you ever believe this program isn't worth it? That's the question I'll throw out there. I'll answer it with absolutely. The second question I'll throw out there is, do you ever not make any money with this program? Again, the answer is absolutely. So going through that, I'm not anything special. My background is one of a hardworking person from Oklahoma, coming from a farming area, working very difficult jobs with my hands, and then getting my college degree, moving on to Texas, and then working in jobs all my life in corporate America. 10 years ago, I passed an insurance exam and began selling insurance and walked away from corporate America. So I tell you this because if I can make this business work with this leads program, anybody can do it. And I say that very humbly, because every day is a new day, as we know. Every month is a new month, as we know. In this world, we wake up and we start at zero. So I will comment that we must be transparent to all of our prospects. If you write anything down, write that comment down today, because we must become relatable people to the people that we're talking to and with as individuals. They must know that we're human beings and we have challenges just like they do. We're not driving around with a Rolls Royce and our Rolex watches on, because sometimes people sense that arrogance, and we must be transparent. I would like to talk about the three areas that I believe that need to be known about the LEADS program. First of all, it's an investment. There is a cost of doing business no matter where you are or what you're doing, and this is an investment. I believe that, back to my first couple of questions that I answered, absolutely, you must understand this is a long-term thought process. It is not a sprint, it is a marathon, so we're all in this to build an income with a pipeline of a recurring revenue that continues year over year. Second, we must have a work ethic to make this happen. That is very important, that we wake up every day by getting our calendars out every night before we go to bed, and we must write down what we're going to do the next day. Who are we going to call? How many people are we going to call? It is a numbers game. There's no gray in that comment. This world is a numbers game if you're a producer, and if you don't believe that, just try not making a phone call today and see how many calls you get returned tomorrow. I also know that you have to think in this LEADS program. It's a long-term, again, a long-term program, so you have to think about this. But then again, you must not think and overthink too much, because if you do start thinking about it, you will think yourself right out of the program. So you have to just roll with the punches, and your calendar will dictate your attitude. So you fill in the dates on the calendar, you set up the meetings, you sell policies, and the excitement occurs, and the money starts coming in. So 4 areas that I believe that we need to succeed in this LEADS program is you must be immediate. In other words, you must be the first point of contact to own the relationship. There's a barrier that we all have to get through when we're on the phone, but the more we're on the phone, the better people skills we obtain. So it's extremely important for us to continue to be the first on these leads. When Joe sends them out on Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning or whenever we get them, immediately make the phone call, because it's actually a race against time. There will be others that do make the phone call to try to get the leads or the prospect's business, but if you create that first opportunity to get your name in front of them, you have the chance and you have the opportunity to make that transaction occur. The second thing is to be persistent. I lean on the side of being a nuisance, and I say that with respect to my folks. I have to go play golf sometimes to give them a break because I'm pretty tough on people. I sometimes think they wonder if they're the only client that I have, which is not the case, but sometimes it probably feels that way on some of my clients because I want to close on them so bad. I know anybody that sells life insurance understands that thought process, but I would rather weigh on that side of being a nuisance and being persistent than to go away for a while and then another agent come in and purchase the policy or be the agent of the policy that is sold, because it's usually not a no, it's a not now. When you talk to a person, if they say no, in other words, they mean not now, and you just have to keep calling and keep calling, because you'll catch them on that day that they were in a good spirit, because we're all very moody and very passionate people about what we do in life. The fourth is to be decisive. I would highly suggest that when you get into this league program that you make decisions. You make those decisions so you can move forward. A good example is you just don't want to continue calling on somebody when you know that they're not going to buy from you and they're just giving you the runaround and they're trying to price this out and get $5 cheaper here and there. You have to really make a decision, and it's based on experience of, okay, I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to move on and make the next sale. So I will now mention 5 points to be efficient that I believe that will help us all become more efficient into this program. I think that you have to create momentum in this program, and how do we do that? Well, we have to start out by purchasing the leads. Well, we also have to continue purchasing the leads, because momentum is what allows us to build our pipeline. It also allows us to fulfill our calendar, which allows us to create excitement in our life. We must know that for every no we get, the closer we are to a yes. So you're going to create that momentum by having more leads be filtered every week. You get Joe to continuously filter those leads to us so that we're continuously making calls, and there's some hope on our calendar so that those closures not only are hope, but those closures become dollars so that we can pay our mortgage and protect our families. The second thing is to build a relationship with that person on the other line. It's very vital, of course, to be the first on the phone, but to be transparent, as I mentioned in the beginning. The most important thing from this entire talk is to become a person to understand how to become transparent with your folks. If they're wealthy, meet them where they are. If they're poor, meet them where they are. If they're in the middle income folks, meet them where they are. Become the person that you know you are in order to meet them where they are in life, so that you can be relatable, and that they can understand, because they're going to purchase from somebody that is very relatable and is non-threatening, and is going to be a very easy person to do business with. The third thing is to interview the folks and get their story. It's important to do a lot of listening and less talking. This lead is only an icebreaker. So when we get this lead, it's an opportunity just to open up the conversation and dialogue for what insurance they have now, and of course you're going to go through the information that was given to you, the birth date, their height, their weight, all their health issues. But start a conversation with them. Let them know that you care without being fake, but becoming transparent. Fourth, the tools that you need to succeed are very important. Of course, I do 95% of my business on the phone. You should become an expert on the phone. That is only going to come through your willingness to make mistakes and your willingness to fail, and you just pick up the phone and dial that next number. And of course, Kerry Levinson Associates, they have the iGenius platform and the many things that help us become successful agents. And I've never seen an agency provide as many tools as Kerry Levinson to help us become better than we actually can be on our own independent selves. And then the fifth point is the organization is the real key in the business, because you must follow up in a very strategic way. I've done anything from a spreadsheet to an Excel spreadsheet, because I'm very technical, to the simplified version I'm in now, and that's a 3-ring binder. I take the leads that Joe sends me, I punch 3 holes in it, I throw it in that 3-ring binder, and I flip through it. I would highly suggest that everyone keep this business simple. Do not overcomplicate it. The more simple it is, the more easy it becomes, and you'll be organized through the simplicity of the whole matter. So the final thing is to know the numbers. You must know that this is a numbers game. So it comes down to the number of cases that you write and the average premium on each case. The simple math is, if you order your leads weekly and you spend $180 and you write 3 cases that average $1,000 per case, you're looking at $3,000 less your $180, which is $2,820. If you do that each week and you get into the ordering every week and the calendar and the momentum and the excitement, 2820 times 4 weeks is $11,280 a month. It's a math problem, folks. I've been in numbers for all my career in the corporate world, and when I truly got into sales, I realized how much money can be made when you think of this as a numbers game. Though it is a people's world we live in the insurance world, it is a numbers game. So, Bill, that's all I have today. I hope everybody can use something that I brought to the table today and have a successful week, and hope everybody orders from the lead system, and it is good for you.
That was excellent. Thank you very much, Kent. And I think we all learned some new tips here and good advice, suggestions, and we appreciate both of our guest speakers taking the time. So we have about 5 minutes left. We're going to email everyone on the call a copy of our sample lead scripts that we've put together. And we also have a mortgage lead program FAQs section that will also be included in that email. And that, I think, basically will answer most of the questions that you have around the exclusive Levinson lead program. Now, we do have a couple of other co-op mailer type of lead programs that Joe is going to touch on quickly. And then we have a final expense turnkey platform that includes mailers that we're also going to touch on for 2 minutes, and then we're going to close off today's call. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. The first direct mail program I want to talk about is actually a co-op program with Transamerica. It's basically a program by which you're able to use the Transamerica branded material and sell the final expense products. What's great about this program is, first off, the cost is much reduced. You'll see it's $322 per 1,000 mailers. That includes the printing, the postage, everything. The other great thing about this program is, before you actually participate, before you actually spend the money on this direct mail lead program, you can actually request from Transamerica what's called a sales solicitation report. So basically, you're providing the insurance carrier with a list of zip codes you'd like to mail to. They'll give you a very detailed report on how many qualified prospects are actually in those zip codes for the demographics that you pick. So you can know ahead of time how many people are actually going to be able to respond to this mailer. Another great thing about Transamerica is they only charge you for those mailers that they send out. So they're going to make sure that they send out 1,000 mailers to the people that are inside of those demographics you pick. So that's a great program available through Transamerica. Also, another great program is actually through our Legacy Safeguard program. This is a very unique end-of-life planning service that is actually not its own insurance product, but actually a third-party company by which you can offer clients all these benefits you see on the screen. They can get access to a negotiated discount rate for the funeral, estate planning attorneys. They can actually get end-of-life planning guidance and assistance, bereavement travel assistance. So this is a program that's going to actually help you with clients, help you prospect, and actually help you make that final expense sale. There's even a very, very large kit that you'll receive as an agent that contains DVDs, CDs, all the information, even a script and a sales guide to walk you through this program, and really helps make that final expense sale. Another great program we have is actually from the Levinson Annuity Division. Josh Hoffman heads up our internal annuity division. He is at extension 23 if you need anything on the annuity side. This is basically a direct mail program. It is $510 per 1,000 mailers. Basically, this is focusing all the attention on those annuity prospects. You'll see by the mailers, the average response rate is about 2.5% out of those 1,000 mailers. But again, you're focusing on the annuity products. Your average case is going to have a much higher commissionable target than your average final expense or life insurance policy. All those are available on CarrieLevinson.com. Underneath the Agent Tool tab, you can click on Lead Programs and actually have access to every single one of those lead programs we just reviewed.
Okay, thanks, Joe. This is our last slide here. I know we're running a little bit behind. One statistic I want to mention quickly, and this is from LIMRA. As you can see in front of you, in 2000, 361 million users were on the World Wide Web. 12 years later, okay, look at that number, 2.7 billion. And then 3 years later, okay, as you can see, well, here we go. As you can see, the number almost doubled at 4.2 billion users. The point is, clients want to speak to you on the phone now. They don't want to sit at a kitchen table at a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock when their kids come home and want to go over homework. It's not the way it was. So the point is, when you're using this lead program, or if you're just talking to prospects in general, it's a different world now. They want to quote over the phone. They want you to send them an email. They want to do some research, and they want to buy online. They want to email. They want you to say, hey, you'll have a link emailed within 30 seconds. Click on the link, and you can fill out your information, hit submit, and you're done, okay? Now, it's not for everybody, but as you can see in front of you by those statistics and facts, that's the way that the world is trending, especially the younger generation. So know the basics, drop tickets, e-applications, know how to quote online, and even if you don't, it's okay. We will hold your hand. We'll show you exactly how to use this technology because it's not difficult. So just with that said, I'm going to end the call and just say, you know, with technology now and everything going on in the world, things are moving very, very quickly. In fact, the CEO of North America, Adidas, okay, said to us that the way things are moving around us in our industry and in the world in general, you will have to move so quick. It's almost like changing a flat tire on a car while the car is still rolling forward without stopping, okay? Just think about that for a second. And if you think back a few years, that's what's going on around us. So we're here to keep you in the loop and to hold your hand and just kind of keep you abreast of what's going on out there so you can go talk to your clients and prospects intelligently and offer all of the latest and greatest technology, products, and lead programs. With that said, have a wonderful rest of the week, a great weekend, and good selling. Take care.